This is how you grow dwarf tomatoes in a 1-foot space using 2 pruning techniques. And the #1 mistake that stunts their fruit production is at the end. Now, a lot of people assume you need a big garden bed to grow tomatoes worth eating. You really do not. I have been growing dwarf varieties on small balconies and tight patios for years. And with the right 2 habits, a single compact plant can give you more tomatoes than you might expect from such a little thing. The key is choosing the right variety and then pruning with intention, not just cutting away at random and hoping for the best. Start with a true dwarf variety. Tiny Tim is one I come back to again and again. It stays small, it sets fruit reliably, and it does not mind being in a container. Speaking of containers, you want one that holds at least 5 gallons of soil. Anything smaller and the roots run out of room before the plant hits its stride. Once your plant is settled in and growing, here are the 2 pruning techniques that make all the difference. Step 1 is removing the suckers. A sucker is that little shoot that sprouts up in the crotch between the main stem and a side branch. It looks innocent enough, but left alone, it becomes a whole new stem, and the plant ends up spending its energy growing more greenery instead of pushing that energy into the fruit. When you pinch those suckers off early, while they are still small and tender, you are essentially telling the plant to focus. Gardeners who do this consistently tend to see noticeably better yields, sometimes as much as 15% more fruit per plant compared to plants that are left unpruned. Step 2 is clearing the lower foliage. Look at the bottom 6 inches of your plant and remove any leaves growing down there. This one is less about energy and more about health. When you water, soil can splash up onto low-hanging leaves, and that splash carries pathogens that cause all sorts of trouble. Blight, rot, the kind of problems that sneak up on you. Keeping that lower section clear gives the plant better airflow and keeps those nasty soil-borne issues from ever getting a foothold. Do both of these things on a weekly basis, and your plant stays compact, tidy, and productive all season long. Now here is the #1 mistake, and I want you to really hear this because it is the thing I see new growers do over and over again, and it breaks my heart every time. The mistake is over-pruning once your plant starts to flower. When those first blossoms appear, beginners often look at all that leafy growth and think, the plant needs more sunlight getting in, I should trim it back. So they start removing leaves, sometimes quite a few of them. It feels productive, it looks tidy. But what they are actually doing is cutting away the very thing the plant needs most at that stage. Leaves are not just decoration, they are the plant's food factory. Through photosynthesis, those leaves are producing the sugars that feed the developing fruit. When you strip too many leaves away during flowering and fruit set, the tomatoes do not have enough fuel to grow properly. You end up with fewer fruits, smaller fruits, and a plant that looks stressed because it genuinely is. Once you see that first set of flowers open up, put the pruning shears down and leave the canopy alone. Let the leaves do their work. Your job at that point is watering, feeding, and getting out of the way. The plant knows what it is doing if you give it the chance. Follow these 2 pruning steps consistently. Avoid that over-pruning error during flowering, and you will start seeing proper fruit sets within about 60 days of planting. The leggy, unproductive balcony tomato that most people end up with is almost always the result of either skipping the sucker removal or going too heavy with the shears at the wrong time. You now know how to avoid both. If growing more food in a small space is something you care about, this channel covers proven container gardening techniques every week. Come back and keep learning.